Well, it's early season development. During the month of June, you get a development close into the United States, and that makes the forecasting a little tricky because it's not like we're tracking tropical waves and we can see them days in advance. Here, the development is a little earlier. Something interesting to talk about here. So let me put the spotlight on. This is where you get development. Now, last week, remember it was last weekend, we had our upper level low that formed off the North Carolina coast. It didn't quite have enough time to develop into a tropical storm, but we had tropical storm conditions offshore. The Carnival cruise ship got stuck in that storm. There were some big impacts. Then we head toward this week, and it's the Gulf of Mexico, where we're getting our tropical depression number 2, a very poorly organized system. More on that in a second. And oh, by the way, next week, I think the area to watch is going to be in the Northwest Caribbean, as we have a stalled boundary in an area of showers and thunderstorms. We'll keep an eye on that. But those are the 3 basins that you look for development this time of the year. All right, we do have our tropical depression right now, which is continuing to weaken here. It's very poorly organized as it moves off to the south at 5 miles per hour. Now, what do I mean by that poor organization? Well, the center of circulation is on the southwestern side of where you see all the clouds. In a organized tropical depression, that center of circulation would be closer to the clouds. In fact, let me take you to the radar here, and you can see another thing that you would see in a very well-organized tropical depression. You'd see these showers and thunderstorms rotating in and around. You don't really have that connection, do you? You have some thunderstorms, but that's not actually heading toward the tropical depression. It's heading toward Florida. So that's yet another telltale sign that this system is poorly organized. Now, here's what we look for when we're looking for development. These 3 factors. Number 1, warm water. Number 2, you want light winds aloft, what we call low wind shear. And then you want sufficient moisture. You don't want any dry air getting involved into the system. When you take a look at the water temperatures, of course, that's not a problem. Where are we looking at here as far as the water temperature is concerned? Well, here it is, anywhere from 77, 78, near 80 degrees. 77, 78 is the threshold for that. So the water temperatures are not a problem. But when you look at the water vapor loop, everything comes into a clearer view on why this system is having so many problems. Here's where we have the moisture, but look at all of the dry air wrapping in around the center of circulation, and that dry air is also inhibiting this system from developing. The other thing is wind shear, winds in the middle and upper part of the atmosphere. Look how things are moving pretty quickly across the Gulf of Mexico. There's this strong area of wind shear, especially in the southern side of the system. But that's why the center of circulation is here and all of the moisture is off to the northeast, because of those westerly winds blowing that moisture away from the low-level center. In fact, let me show you a kind of illustration here, the effects of wind shear in the tropics. So this is the ideal situation when you get the low-level circulation and it's vertically stacked with the mid-level, even in the upper part of the mid-level circulation. Now, when that happens, the structure of the system stays intact and it will strengthen. But when you have wind shear, what you're looking at is stronger winds here in the middle and upper part of the atmosphere. And what does that do? It tilts everything. So instead of it being vertically stacked, what do you get? You get the low-level center here, and then the mid-level circulation in the direction of where that wind is, in this case to the northeast. And this is what you're seeing on the water vapor loop, right? All of that moisture off to the east. And that's why this system is not going to develop. It really isn't. And let me show you another example here. The upper air pattern, which is showing you the upper low and some of the energy associated with this. You'll notice that you already have some yellow and orange. You see that? Here we go as we head this afternoon. And even from this afternoon into this evening, it appears as though this system does stay intact. In fact, you start seeing some red, right, with our key. But watch what happens after about 7, 8 o'clock tonight. It just fizzles away. Also, we have a trough coming in that's pushing this system to the south. So we are not projecting this to become Arlene. And in fact, I think by this time tomorrow, there's nothing left of this system as it moves toward the northwest Cuba, although that will be Saturday afternoon, Saturday night. Stay with us. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, Check out these other videos here and be sure to subscribe for new content and the latest weather news from AccuWeather.